25 congressmen or 10 senators that need to go, probably attacking them all at the same time is a dilution of your resources. Maybe you go after just 2 or 4, and then you go after the next ones, and you're strategic about it. That's a better way to get what you eventually want. It just takes time, and people get burned out, and I get that, and it's a long game. And I apologize to people. We're going to be in this battle for decades. We're not turning this around in 2 years, 4 years, 6 years in the way that we want it to. Now, if we do our part, we can certainly hasten that along a lot. But we have to be smart. We have to prepare the ground, and we have to make threats that we can follow through on and put away the threats that we're not exactly prepared to do anything about.
Well, go ahead, JD.
No, I was just going to reiterate that it's great and fine to say that you want to primary Boehner. You can't primary him today. You can't primary him tomorrow. You can't primary him next week. There's a point to primary him. We're not there yet. So, outrage, great, all that stuff. Put it in the bank, and remember that the next time, every time that you hear a headline about John Boehner that makes you annoyed, put some money in a fund that you are going to spend on kicking his butt out of office. Do that for me, and I will thank you so much.
Now may not be the time to actually do the agitating. Now is definitely the time to do the candidate shopping.
Sure. Go ahead, Andy.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, if you don't have, where are you going to make the best impact? Bottom line, if you keep threatening to leave the party, you will talk yourself into leaving the party. So my question is, and I've told people this, if you keep threatening to do it, eventually you're going to talk yourself into doing it, if only to validate your own threats, so you won't look like a blowhard at the end of the bar. All right. So here's my question: this thing you're talking yourself into doing, will you have as much impact in a third party or unaffiliated as you will moving the Republican Party more in your direction? Because you know as well as I do, as strongly as you feel about this, the Republican Party is going to move your way more with you in it than with you not in it. Okay? So by withdrawing yourself from it, you are guaranteeing that it will move further away, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now you can rip on it more, but what are you going to achieve? If you do not, and I always use these words, if you do not support the most numerically viable opponent to the Democrat, then you are the good person who steps aside and does nothing while evil triumphs. You must support, at the end of the day, the most numerically viable opponent to the Democrat, or you are wasting your vote. I'm sorry. I'm sorry how mean that sounds. I wish that weren't the case, but there are too many Democrats, so it is true. What are you going to do? Where are you going to make the impact? Inside or outside? I believe right now that is inside, if only because of the size of our opposition.
That is a great final thought to focus on, Andy. Before Leslie wraps up, I wanted to let everybody know what we're going to start in the new year. We've sort of previewed our left tactics segment. Last week we went into bullying as left tactics, and so every week, at least as many as we can work in, we're going to try to walk through one aspect of what the left does that we need to learn more about as a tactic and learn how to defeat. If you haven't seen those videos, check those out, or check the podcast out from last week's show. It would be the pre-Christmas show. It was a really great discussion. There's lots of great video there on the Conservative Union YouTube channel. Also, we are going to start a feature in 2015 about what do you say? And this I thought Andy would really enjoy doing, especially since this is sort of what the Party of Choice has spent so much time doing, giving us good answers and good arguments for what you normally get when someone is debating you or something like that. So we'll take a typical talking point from the leftist perspective that maybe a person in the middle might be employing, and we'll pick it apart, and we'll come up with the better answers for that than maybe we've even thought about ourselves. And so I'm really looking forward to getting Andy pulled in and utilized and equipping us all for the next year how to respond when a typical statement is made from the left, or the argument is made from a person who's parroting left talking points but maybe doesn't understand them. That may just be the one talking point they know on a subject. So really excited about that. We are going to start 2016 off in a very positive direction. I definitely want everybody to join us for that.
2015. We're not 2016 just yet.
Crap! Oh man, I'm already jumping ahead in the future 2 years. Good thing there's no checks to write anymore. I'd get the date really wrong.
Yeah, Felicia, you're getting ahead of yourself, because 2015 is all going to be negative. So we're going to be focusing only on the negative for 2015.
No, not at all. You're fired, Andy. You're totally
Shut
fired.
your mouth!
And I was just going to say that, this whole New Year's resolution show has been all about being nice and keeping it positive and useful and constructive. And I keep repeating that, partly because I want to communicate it to y'all, but also, and probably primarily, because I want to remind myself and kind of obligate myself to do that, even more so than I think I tried over the last couple of years, but to really focus on making sure that what I put out there is nice and positive and constructive, and I'm with the conservative group, and that's who you want to join, because we're the nice, fun, friendly people whose proposals and policies create success and prosperity for everyone. Everyone. It doesn't matter what little group or tribe you belong to, because our ideas allow you to make all your own choices and have as much prosperity and success as you're able to get. And that's the message that I want to carry forward. And I think with the refinery next year, with our what would you say to this argument segment, and how the left behaves kind of segments that we're going to be doing, that'll allow us to focus and try to be more of a resource to people out there, because as we discussed, our audience for this show is not random strangers. We're preaching to the choir here. We're helping to give our audience information that they're going to need to carry the message forward. Preaching to missionaries or something. I don't know exactly what the right terminology is, but I think, as Felicia's saying here, we're the internal strategy memo for the right, and that's how this all started, was a private internal strategy session just amongst ourselves, and then we decided, hey, you know what? Why not just broadcast these internal discussions, just broadcast them live so that people can listen in if they want to, because what we're saying might be of use to somebody. And that's what this year and these 29 episodes that we've broadcast on YouTube, and there were internal private meetings that we had before that, and we've now had, I guess this will be our 6th episode syndicated on Vigilant Liberty Radio, and now we're also available on iTunes and Stitcher and TuneIn, so you can listen to us from your mobile device, whatever mobile devices you have. You can get links to all of that from therefineryshow.com. So how's that for segueing into advertising, right? At any rate, this has been we've run over time just a little bit, but it's the internet and we can do that.
Well, into advertising, I just got to say, that is everybody's New Year's resolution that we want you to go away from. Hook up with the podcast, share our stuff, make sure you are commenting and liking and plussing and tweeting all the things that we're putting out. If you are getting something out of the discussion, share that with somebody else.
We
Absolutely.
are well over 200 clips on YouTube. 200 clips is a lot of clips.
There's a lot of stuff out there for you guys to search and find, and most of those videos are thoroughly tagged and have descriptions and links to the articles that we reference in the discussion. So you can search the YouTube channel for, oh man, I think I remember they talked about chocolate sprinkles one time. You can search through there and probably find that one. And JD does a great job with the images that he puts on the front that kind of give you an idea of what each clip is about. So, use that as a resource. That's what we're doing this for. We're certainly not doing it for the big bucks, other than, JD. He's getting rich off of this whole thing, I think. And he gives that look. What? I know, I'm just kidding.
Besides, it would get taxed out because I live in New Jersey, so.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And we don't want the IRS all up in our business.
In New Jersey, it's not good.
Shell Corporation, based in Texas. We'll hook you up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. We don't want the IRS all up in our business. We are a for-profit organization. Oh, God, the NSA just listened to that. I'm in trouble now. Anyway, I'll be back next week if I can. I don't know if they'll let me broadcast from NSA prison or Gitmo or wherever I'm going to end up. But anyway, we will be back next week, and it'll be 2015, and I won't know what year it is for quite some time. But it'll be January, whatever it is. Tuesday, 8:30 Central, 9:30 JD time, 7:30 Cori and Andy time, and 6:30 Delbert time. We'll rope him in on quite a few episodes next year, and we will see you guys. Happy New Year, everybody! Don't drive drunk. Call Uber.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everybody! Thank you all so much for being our listeners in 2014. Bye.
This show is copyright by VLR Media. All opinions of hosts, panelists, and guests are their own and may not reflect the opinion of VLR Media or anyone else.